Good morning everyone, and welcome to week 2 of my big spring clean 2024. This week we're going to be working on the lounge, which is quite a big room, so I do it in sections when I do a big clean in here. So for day 1 we're going to be doing the area around the window and the sideboard, as you can see in the video now. So I'm starting off by clearing everything away from the areas that I'm going to be working on today. I've moved my plants from the windowsill, I'm moving little George in his cage, and I'm going to start by taking down the curtain rail and the curtains. I'm planning on buying a new curtain rail very soon for these curtains, and probably actually some new curtains as well. I really love the sound that the wooden curtain rings make on a wooden curtain rail, and these are metal, so I really want to change it out for a nice wooden one. But for today we're just going to be cleaning it down and washing the curtains. So they're going to go in a nice cool wash. These curtains are cotton, so I don't want to wash them too high because they might shrink, and they certainly cannot go in the dryer. So I've just put them in the washing machine with a couple of other bits that have been waiting to go into the wash today, and they are going to be busy in there while I get the rest of the window done. So today I've decided to clean the window using my Dishmatic brush handle thing because I want a really soapy, suddy, satisfying clean today. I was really in the mood to clean, and I really wanted to do a good thorough job, so I really wanted lots of soap, lots of suds, have it looking lovely, and it really worked out quite well. Do be careful though, if you are using brush handles like this for windows, you do have to go very gently, you don't want to scratch the glass, so do be very careful. But I've literally just gone over that with some hot soapy water and the washing up liquid that was already in the Dishmatic, and I'm going to go around really quickly with my window vac and just clean that up. It makes a long job very short, and I love this thing. Honestly, I would clean everything with this little hoover if I could. But for now, just the windows, that's fine for me. So afterwards I'm just going to go around and clean up any little drips with a microfiber cloth, just to make sure they're not running down the window frames and onto the clean window panes. So next up I'm just going in with a little bit of diluted flash. This is the bicarb one, lovely spring clean fresh smell, and I'm just going over that with a sponge and cleaning the window frames themselves and the window handles. I've just opened the windows so that I could get the actual seal lines, that the seals make lines on the frames of the windows, you can see when you open them. Make sure that all of that is off, you get grit and dust and all sort in those bits. And now I'm just going to clean the windowsill with the same thing. This is something, there's quite a few projects in this room, I won't lie. There's quite a few, and you don't really notice them until you pull everything out. So as I was going around doing my spring clean this week, I have made a huge list of little bits that need to be done, that make me kind of crazy when I see them. But I don't see them very often because quite often they're hidden behind things. And one of those things was to strip the paint from the windowsill, sand it down, and either stain it or repaint it depending on how the wood's looking underneath. It is a wooden windowsill. I'm really hoping that there is a nice grain to it and it can be saved and just be a nice wood windowsill, but if not, I will be going back over and painting it with some fresh gloss, really some sort of satin wood or something like that, because at the moment there's sort of chunks missing out of it, it's chipped and just not looking very good. But that is definitely a job for a nice warm summer's day. So now the window frames are clean, I'm just going to go and clean this piece of lino. We have this underneath George's cage really to catch the seeds and the water where he has a bath and things like that. We don't want all that getting onto the carpet. So we had this spare piece of lino from a few years ago when we redid our bathroom, and that sits under George's cage and protects the carpet. So now that's clean, I'm just going to go and take off any marks from the wall. They are pretty much all down to little George. I feed him like a kind of wet food mix now and then for extra protein and vitamins and stuff, and he likes to throw it at the wall. It all sticks onto the paper there, so I have to paper this wall every couple of years anyway because the damp sort of lifts the wallpaper off, as you can see, but also it doesn't help that George is throwing food on the wall. So another thing that really bugs me is all of these old internet and phone line boxes that are on our wall. One of the jobs that I want to be getting on with is boxing these in. I think we only have one of them in use at the moment, and the others just kind of sit here. We can't take them off without leaving a big gaping hole in the wall, so I'm just kind of cleaning them off the best that I can, but I'm trying desperately not to get too involved in it. I'm one of them people who will start doing a job and notice something else that needs doing. For example, on these, the paint needs scraping off the sides. And then I will get completely distracted by that, end up spending hours scraping all the paint off of these boxes that I know I'm going to box in very soon anyway. So I'm trying really hard today not to get distracted by that, but it's something else that needs doing. This year I also really want to concentrate on getting all the wires in the house dealt with. One of my biggest hates is being able to see wires. And we have a lot of wires trailing around the place, as most people in most homes do. TV wires, aerials, phone lines, chargers, all of this. There's often thousands and thousands of cables all over your house, and I really want to get on top of them this year and kind of tack them on above skirting boards, tuck them in where I can so they're not seen, and shrunk the rest, just so I'm not looking at horrible wires everywhere for the rest of my life. So I'm just going around now with a feather duster. It's not actually feather, it's like some fabric. It's actually a lot better than a feather duster. It works really, really well to get rid of all the dust and cobwebs. We have had, I don't know what it was about last year, but we had about 1 million spiders move in and make their home in here last year. So there's spider webs everywhere, there's cobwebs everywhere. So I go around with a duster first because I'm not a big fan of spiders and don't really want them on my hands. So all the top corners will get done with that first, and then I will go around and clean them. So this top window above the door, this leads out into our entrance area by our front door, and it's very, very dark in our house. So all of these little windows above the doors are there to try and bring more light in. They're really useful. They are a pain in the bum because they are always really dusty, because who really ever gets up on a ladder and dusts the top of their doors? A few people, I can imagine, certainly not me. So yeah, that's kind of annoying when you have to do them. Also, this door seemed like a really, really good idea at the time because of all the glass. Again, we wanted all that extra natural light coming in from the main entrance. Didn't really think about the dust factor. So definitely something I want to replace at some point. I don't think it's a priority, but something that I would like to replace at some point is this door, with just a nice solid door, or a half and half door with glazing at the top and solid at the bottom. But for now I'm just going around with that flash spray and giving it a damp dust and a bit of a clean down. So this next area I was absolutely dreading. So this cabinet is where I keep all of my small gardening supplies, things like seeds, tools, garden bags, fertilizers, things like that, all get kept in here. And like I say, about 1 million spiders moved in and they love this cupboard. They like to live in this cupboard. I don't know what it is about this cupboard, but there were so many spiders and cobwebs, and they're bitey spiders as well. They're false widows, and I really didn't want any of them on me. So I have been putting this off for literally years, dealing with this cupboard. And I eventually decided to be brave and do it today for part of my spring clean. I'm glad I did. There were several spiders that had to be, let's say, ejected from the cupboard, unfortunately. But they were breeding like crazy. There were loads of little babies, and it's like, no, we need to get rid of these because I don't want to get bitten by spiders, thank you very much. So I did get through these cupboards. I did sort out a whole bunch of stuff. I think I got 2 bin bags worth of stuff out of just these cupboards. It very much became a dumping ground over here. I had my gardening stuff in the first bit of it, and the rest of it ended up being old books that we didn't want anymore, but we didn't know what to do with, all kinds of bits and bobs of decor that I didn't want anymore, that I didn't want to deal with, and they all just kind of got dumped into this cupboard. Now eventually this cupboard is going to be moving into the dining area. I'm going to be getting rid of the dining table because we sit at it maybe 3 or 4 times a year, and the rest of the time it just has stuff on it. It's just this catch-all for everybody's stuff, and even if we wanted to sit at it we couldn't because it's always covered in stuff. So the table will be going, and this unit will be going at the far end in the dining area underneath the clock. It's going to be a lot better. It means I can move George's cage over into this corner here, and it means the radiator, the heat from the radiator, can actually get out into the room, and far less spiders hiding in the corner, which will be lovely. So this is going to be a project for the summer again, because I really want to strip this down and paint it. I don't know what colour yet, but I definitely want to have it painted. I want to change the hardware on it and just have it looking all fresh and new. But for now, a clean. I'm going to go over the radiator really quickly. I'm not going to be pulling this unit out today. I do pull the rest of the furniture out in the room, but I will not be pulling this out today. This is a heavy, heavy piece of furniture. I can't do it on my own, and I just know there's going to be about a zillion spiders back there. So, not that brave today. A little bit brave, not completely brave. And now I'm just going over quickly the panelling. I forgot to do this while I had the plants out of the way. I just needed to dust the panels really, really quickly. Very quick job. I went over them with one of my Zoflora wipes and gave them a quick dust like that. And again, also I forgot the top. So back up the ladder I go and dust the top. So now that it's warmed up a little bit outside, I have braved the cold. It's a glorious day today, but it's very, very cold. Now that it's warmed up a tiny little bit, I'm going to pop outside and do the front of this window. I don't like doing just the insides. I mean, I do sometimes, but I prefer to do both because there's just no point in doing one side. There's always going to be junk on the other side. They're never going to look clean. You may as well just do it all. So I'm doing exactly the same on the outside as I did on the inside. It's a little bit of a harder reach because I cannot put the ladder on that side thanks to the hedge that we've got growing under the window, but I can manage well enough. And as with before, I'm just getting the drips and smears and marks and things like that with one of my microfiber glass cloths, and then I'm going round the frame really quickly and giving it a dust. I will be heading out when I do my spring garden clean. I'll be going out and cleaning properly all the white UPVC outside. I've got a couple of tricks for doing that I will show you, but that's the video for another day. But for today, the curtains have finished washing. I cannot tumble dry them because they are cotton, so I'm going to hang them to dry. This is going to be a bit of a test for my crease releaser spray that I bought at the beginning of the last video. Haven't had a chance to use it yet. I don't have that much faith in it. These curtains are pretty creased. If the crease release spray doesn't work, I will pull them down when they are dry and give them an iron, but I'd rather not if I can help it. I've only got a very small ironing board. I got rid of my big one, and I don't fancy trying to do big curtains on a tiny ironing board, so we'll see how it goes. Okay, so we're on to day 2 now, and I'm working on the sofa and coffee table area of the lounge. The first step I'm going to take is to take off all of the cushion covers and throws from the sofa, and they are going to head off into the washing machine for a nice deep clean while I get on with cleaning the sofas themselves. So I already had half of a whites wash waiting for me, so it made the most sense to put the throws in with that. And I did the cushion covers separately in a coloured wash afterwards. I was really hoping I could get them all together in one wash, but I neglected to remember the fact that we are still a family of 5 and that laundry around here is relentless. So couldn't get it all in one, I'm afraid. So now I am tackling the sofas themselves. I'm going to show you the first one up close, which is just the armchair, and then I'm going to do the others kind of in a more zoomed out view so you can see me doing them. So basically I have a bowl of warm water with a little bit of detergent in it, and I'm going over the sofas with the soft side of a kind of scrubby sponge. So I'm using the sponge side only, I'm not scrubbing, and I'm just going over all of the leather really quickly, giving it a good clean, especially in the seams, especially in the creases. You can't really see in the video, but I wish I'd shown you the water at the end of it. It was kind of grey. It started off blue because I had the detergent in it, and it ended up like this kind of stormy grey. I feel like if it was a Dulux paint colour, it would be like Tornado Skies or something like that. It was like this dark blue-grey. You wouldn't think it to look at the sofas on the video because I know that you can't see, but there was quite a lot of gunk coming off them. So I'm really glad that I did this today. It was a step that I very nearly skipped because they did not look particularly dirty. But I thought, no, Kerry, it's spring clean. We have to do it properly. So after I go round and wet clean it with the solution in the bowl, I'm then going round with the microfiber cloth and drying it to make sure there's not too much moisture sitting on the leather. It's really not good to have a lot of moisture sitting on leather, so I'm doing my best to dry it as best I can. And after that I'll be going over it with some leather spray just to kind of moisturise the leather in a good way and shine it back up again. That's not the best way to describe that, but you'll see what I mean in a moment. So this is the leather spray I'm talking about. I haven't seen it before, so I figured I would try it out today. It's leather silk. I got it at, I think it was either B&M or Home Bargains. I do use the Wood Silks furniture polish, and I find that really good, so I really wanted to try the leather one as well. Did a pretty good job. They were really shiny. It feels kind of greasy, but it does dry off and leaves them really shiny. They look pretty nourished and happy. There's been no cracking or anything like that, so far so good. It also smells really nice, like fresh new leather as well. So I'm really happy with it. It's going to be one of the things that's going to live permanently in my cleaning supplies. Okay, so before I move this armchair back into its position, I'm just going to clean the carpet underneath. My husband at the time was in bed. As many of you know, he works a night shift, so he's sleeping in the day, which means I cannot hoover until later on in the evening. So I'm just going to sweep for now, and I'll come back over with the vacuum cleaner later on and get that cleaned properly. I am coming back at the end of the week with my carpet shampooer and giving the carpets a really good wash as well. So I'll definitely be coming over it with the hoover a good few times before I get the shampooer out to make sure that I've got all the dust and debris off the carpet first. But for now, it's easier to sweep. Okay, so I'm moving on to the main sofa now. Like I say, this is a zoomed out version. You already know what I'm doing, it's just the time lapse now. So these sofas I've had for 2, maybe 3 years. I can't remember exactly when it is that I got them. I actually got them from a old friend who was moving, and I think she said they were 14 or 15 years old when I got them from her. So they are definitely starting to show signs of age. There are some parts, particularly on seams, where the leather is starting to crack and peel ever so slightly. So I'm trying to be really, really careful as I'm going around cleaning them, making sure that they are looked after. But it's one of the main reasons why I have the throws on them when they are dry. It's just to protect the leather more than anything else. Plus, it's not nice to sit on cold leather on a cold day. So in the not too distant future, I have been looking at replacement sofas for these because they are not going to last forever. I found a few really nice corner groups that I want to go for. There's one in particular that is a corner sofa with an armchair, and then one part of the sofa comes out to make like this huge king size bed, and I think that would be absolutely amazing. Not only for kind of movie nights with the kids, we can pull out the bed and get all our blankets and the snacks and sit and watch a movie, particularly on like Christmas Eve and things like that. That would be an amazing thing to have. Excuse me. But also, my husband is a snorer. He works night shifts, so most of the time it's okay. But at the weekend he is home and he is loud. He snores so loudly. So I often end up coming downstairs. I'm like that children's book. Do you remember it, Bear Can't Sleep? Where he's all over the place trying to find somewhere where he can go to sleep. That's very much me on a sort of Saturday night and a Sunday night when he's home. And I quite often try to come and sleep on these sofas, but the arms are so tall, you can't stretch out, you can't lay comfortably. They're really, really uncomfortable to lay on. Lovely to sit on. You cannot sleep on these things, it's impossible. So I really, really, really need a sofa bed so that I can actually come down and have some sleep over the weekend. He doesn't mean it, but oh my goodness, is he a loud snorer? It's insane. And he's one of them people that can fall asleep in about 30 seconds as well. So even if we go to bed at the same time, or if I go to bed earlier than him, when he comes in, it wakes me up, and I can't get back to sleep as quickly as he can fall asleep. So that's it, I'm up for the night. There's no two ways about it. I'll often be up kind of editing videos for you guys. So yeah, a sofa bed would be an absolute godsend. These sofas are not going to last that much longer, however much I care for them. I certainly don't want to be paying to have the leather replaced on them. It's going to be a fortune, and like I say, they're not really practical for the kind of stage that we're at, where I need that extra space to sleep, or where we need place to kind of vegetate and watch films, things like that. I always said that I would never get another fabric sofa again because they are so much to look after. You're constantly washing covers, trying to get cushions in and out of the covers. So I said to myself I would never have a fabric sofa again. However, now that I have my little Spot Vax, the kind of shampoo, the little small one, I feel like it might be a little bit easier to have a fabric sofa than it would be to have a leather sofa. These are quite easy to clean, but it takes a lot of time. So I'm thinking I might spot clean a nice fabric corner group. Might be quite nice. But anyway, that's something for the future. I have a little savings pot set aside for the new sofa. It's going to take me a while to get there. I don't know if I mentioned to you guys or not, but I've gone back down to part-time at work now, purely because I didn't have enough hours in the day to keep the house picked up, to keep the kids looked after. So I dropped my hours back down to part-time. So although I have now more time at home, I have less money. So yeah, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. So now it's going to take a little bit longer to save up for those sofas. I think I can get another couple of years out of them. But if I do come into some money beforehand, that's going to be one of the first things that's going to be changing in here. Because I need my sleep. A girl needs her sleep. So we're so close to being nearly there, guys, with the sofas. I appreciate this is quite a lot of footage, but I wanted to keep it very real with you. I didn't want to kind of just skip through. This is work. It's a lot of work. It's hard work, but it's necessary. And I wanted, like I say, to keep it real. Like you guys, if you're cleaning along with me, your sofas probably will take you ages as well. So here we go. This is it. So I'm just going to do the sides of these, and then the sofas will be all finished. And it will be time to pull them out and clean behind them. Okay, let's address the elephant in the room. I have in my dining area just a whole heap of stuff. So where I'm going through the house and I'm trying to spring clean and I'm trying to declutter, I have to have a space where I can put all of the things that are going to be exiting the house. And that space at the moment is my dining room. It's unbelievable. It looks like a jumble sale, a car boot sale, whatever you want to call it. It's an absolute mess over there. You will see it in wide shots of the lounge. The dining room is a room I'm doing on a different day because obviously I have to take things to the dump, I have to take things to the charity shop, things like that, and that all needs to be planned out. But yes, if you do see it in the background, that is my secret shame. Not so secret anymore. There is a lot of stuff back there. But for today, we're just focusing on the lounge bit. So I've pulled out my main sofa, and as you saw there, we have a bunch of weights under there. This was one of my husband's. He wanted to have a go at doing some weights, and I kind of liked the idea as well. And they got put under the sofa and promptly forgot about. They have never been lifted in their tiny weighty lives. They probably never will be lifted in their tiny weighty lives, but we have them anyway. I'm thinking of getting one of those large storage totes from B&M or somewhere similar and popping them either out into the shed or up into the loft. Just so they're out of the way, but we still have them. But I think, in all honesty, if I can get away with it, I'm going to declutter them and get them gone because he's never going to use them. They just sit there. I certainly am never going to use them. I know myself. I don't have the motivation to work out. I've tried on several occasions. I'm just not a workout person. I need to have somebody with me who also wants to work out, and there's just not ever people there that want to work out with me, so it is what it is. I have to be a little fatty forevermore. So moving on now to just dusting down these pictures. I took the first one off the wall to check to see if there was any mould behind it. It's something that we have to do quite regularly here because of the damp issues, but it was fine, so I just dusted the other two while they're on the wall, and then went along and dusted the top bits of the panel in here. It gets really quite dusty. I should have thought of it really before I put it in. I didn't. It's not really a problem, it's something that I do once every couple of weeks, just go around the panelling, get it clean, but it's only on the seasonal cleans that I actually pull the sofa out and clean down the back here. I'd like to one day, perhaps when I'm boxing in the phone line boxes, maybe box in these pipes as well. It's another hotspot habitat for the spiders, which I don't really love, and it doesn't look very nice either. I know the sofa's in front of it, but knowing that it's there, knowing that it's dusty and spider infested is enough for me to think, yeah, let's box in those pipes. So now I am just popping all those lovely abandoned little weights back under the sofa until I can get the box for them. and then that's that bit done. So I'm just going to give the floor over here a quick sweep. Again, my husband's still asleep, so can't hoover at the moment. And you know, every now and then it's good to have a quick sweep of the carpet. It really loosens up any sort of ingrained dirt and things. And knowing that I'm going to be shampooing the carpets later on in the week, it certainly doesn't hurt to come and give these a sweep. You can see the patches in front of the sofa where we all sit with our feet on the floor. I guess it's kind of dye from socks, body oils, things like that. It all needs to be taken up, so very glad I'm going to be able to get the carpet shampooer out today. Not today, this week, sorry, and give it a good clean. So I'm just going over my coffee table again with my Dishmatic. It wasn't until after I did this that I realised it must have been when I was cleaning the outside of the windows. I must have got a bit of grit on the Dishmatic. It scratched my table. It scratched my table pretty bad as well. It's a new table, I've had it about 2 weeks and it's got big scratches on it now. Be careful, guys, if you're using the Dishmatics, just make sure they've not got anything on the tops of them that can scratch your glass. Because, yeah, they're not big scratches, they're not obvious, you can't really see them all that much. But they're there and it infuriated me. Okay, so the next section of the house that I'm going to be dealing with today is around the fireplace. So I recently redid this area. It's not finished yet, but it's about halfway there. So I got a new fireplace, put a little bit of wood panelling on the wall, and I bought these 2 Billy bookcases from IKEA. Eventually they will be on a plinth, and they will have like a kind of built-in frame around them, so it will all look nice and built-in. At the moment they are just leant against the wall, which is not safe. Please don't do that. Attach them to the wall. I'm just being extra careful as I'm going around, being very, very gentle not to move them. But yeah, if you do notice that they are looking a bit wonky, it's because they are not attached yet and our carpet is not very even over in this corner. So I'm just taking everything off a shelf at a time, and I'm going along with my flash spray and a microfiber cloth and just cleaning each shelf. I do this, I would say, probably once a week, round there, once every 6 days, 5 or 6 days. This gets done because it does gather quite a lot of dust and I like it to look nice. I'm having to be really, really careful over here because I'm trying not to let stuff sneak into them baskets and stuff is trying to sneak into them baskets, let me assure you. But I'm loving it at the moment. I really love how it looks over here. I cannot wait to get it finished and built in and looking beautiful, and most importantly being safe. I don't have young children. I don't have pets other than a finch. We don't have any family who have young children that could be climbing it. Everybody knows steer clear of it until I've got it attached. So for the time being it's a little bit risky, but we're good. So yeah, I'm just giving them a clean down today. Hopefully this will be a project that I get to soon. It is on my priority list to get that plinth built and to get everything built in and to get those pesky wires that you can see hidden. You see what I mean about wires? They are absolutely everywhere. They are the bane of my existence. And considering how much stuff is wireless, how do we still have so many godforsaken wires all over our homes? I don't understand it. So yeah, just giving my fireplace a little clean. It is quite staticky, so it collects the dust. Not nearly as badly as my old fire used to though, so it's a nice change. I love this fire. I got it from Amazon. I had picked out another one. It went out of stock just when I was going to buy it, and I ended up with this one, which was more expensive, and I'm so glad I did because I love it so much more. Lighting some candles to keep me motivated. Anyone else do that? So I'm just going to move on to the second shelf here, or the second set of shelves I should say, and get those all clean. You can see on the wall just there I used to have pictures of the kids. I painted some old wooden frames black and I put them on the wall, and the black paint has stained the wall. I have tried to clean it off, but I think there's no choice. I'm going to have to go in with the inevitable and repaint it. So it's not dirt on the wall, I promise. I have tried to clean it off. It's staining from the paint, which I was not expecting, but there you go, that's what it is. So I'm just going to get these shelves done and then we can move on to the next section. Oh, just a heads up in case anyone's worried. Those candles are not as close to the TV screen as they look like they are. They're a good couple of inches in front of it. So don't worry, I promise there's no fire hazard here, other than me. Okay, so now the throw is clean, the sofa cushion covers are clean. I'm just going to pop those back on. I don't know where my other sofa throw has gone. I definitely have two. And I was looking for the other one while that first one was in the wash because I was going to put the other one in. I don't know where it is. I have a horrible feeling that it's in the car somewhere, although I don't know why it would be, but honestly I can't see where else it could have gone. So when I do find it, it will be washed and it will go back on the other sofa. But for now it's just the one normal throw, the sofa cushions, and then I've got like a floral throw that I put onto the armchair. They're just going to get a quick spritz with a little bit of fabric softener dilute in a bottle, and they smell all lovely now. So the next area I'm working on, technically not the lounge, but I do kind of lump it in with the lounge because it's such a small space off the lounge. And this is our front entrance hall. You know, it's not a big space. We have just enough room for a little shoe rack and some hooks for a coat, and that's pretty much it. In that cupboard next to me is just our gas and electric meters and a couple of shelves that have got kind of tools and screws and things on them. So not really any room for any more storage out here. It's crazy trying to keep on top of it with 5 people in and out of the house. Also, you know, when guests come around and things like that, there's not a lot of space to put coats and shoes, but this is the best solution that I've come up with so far, and it will have to do for the time being until I get my dream house. So I'm just going around with some of my Zoflora wipes. I'm trying to get these used up. I really thought I would use them up in like the first week of the spring clean, and I didn't. It feels like they are never ending, these things. You get a lot in a packet. So I'm going around with Zoflora wipes to do the dusting. Anywhere I'm dusting, I'm using Zoflora wipes, and I just used a little bit of glass spray on that top window on the door there. Okay, so next up is the door. I'm just going to do the inside of the door today. I'm going to do the outside when I go and do the outer frames on the windows. So I've just gone round with a little bit of my flash spray and a little bit of hot soapy water for the glass. The rest of it I'm just going to do with either a Zoflora wipe, depending on where I am, or the sponge. Just give it a quick dust and a quick clean. It doesn't need much. I do the door quite frequently, especially in this kind of weather where there's a lot of mud. The door often gets little sprinkles of mud on it as people are coming in and out of the house. So it does get cleaned quite often anyway. I finally got to get my little hoover out. My husband was awake at this point, so I got to use my little battery powered hoover. I'm not in love with this thing, not gonna lie. Doesn't have the power that I'm looking for. It's okay for a quick once around job, but I usually get my shark out to do the more serious stuff, as I have now. So this must mean it's carpet cleaning day. The shark comes out when I need to do a deep clean, and I definitely needed to do the carpets today. So I actually did this today, the day that I am doing this voiceover and the editing for this video. I'm exhausted, but I'm so glad I got it done because it really needed doing, and I can't believe how mucky it was. So I went in first with a little bit of a stain remover releaser spray from Vax. It came with my machine. So I'm just going to spray that onto the stains and just agitate them a little bit with this brush. Nothing too rough, just enough to get the stain remover stuff in there. And then I left it for about 5 minutes while I got the little spot cleaner, what's it called? Spot wash. While I got the spot wash ready and loaded up, and then I just went over it really quickly to pick up that stain remover, and then I started washing it. This little gadget, oh, I cannot tell you how much I love this thing. I would marry it and have its babies if I could, honestly. This spot wash has been a game changer for me. It really, really has. I love my big carpet shampooer. I've got the big Vax Platinum Smart Wash, I think it's called, and it's amazing. But this thing is next level. I use this all the time for everything. I use it to clean the doormats, to wash the stairs, to clean the mattresses, to clean curtains, just everything. And it's so good if somebody like spills a cup of coffee or a drink or something, you can pick it up so quickly. If you're thinking about getting one of these things, I'm not paid by them or anything like that. I just genuinely love this thing. I really would go for it. They are worth their weight in gold. They're really, really easy to use. You have 2 separate tanks. You have a clean water tank that's got the detergent solution in it, and you've got a dirty water tank that's really, really quick and easy to empty out. It's also got a self-wash function. This thing does everything you need it to do. It's wonderful, and I love playing with it. It's my favourite toy. So I'm just going over a few times to get as much of this stain and mark out as I can. It did a really, really good job. It did leave a little bit, so I did end up going back over it with the big Smart Wash, but it's looking significantly better than it was. It's never going to be perfect because the carpet's actually kind of flattened down in those spots where people have sat on the sofa and had their kind of feet sit in there and all that, so it's kind of squashed down the carpet, so it's always going to look a little bit darker. But this machine, oh, I cannot sing its praises enough. I'm sorry if I sound like a broken record. You're going to hear this every time I get this machine out. I love it. So while I had my favourite little toy out, I decided I was going to go over the front doormat. This was, I just wanted to. I'm replacing this very soon. This has been a great doormat, don't get me wrong, but the ridges in it, it's really, really hard to clean, even with my lovely little machine. It takes forever to clean it, but I just really wanted to. While I had the spot wash out, I really just wanted to go over it and just see the difference it can make. You can already see, I've been over it once, and you can see the difference in the colour. This thing's amazing. I love it so much. But yeah, I figured I'd just get this doormat done while I was here. I need to do the one for the kitchen actually. I missed it on my spring clean, didn't I, when I was in the last week. I will do that tomorrow. But yeah, love it. It's a great thing. Okay, it's time for the big boy. Another machine that I love, not quite as much as the spot wash, but not for any particular reason. I just prefer to use the spot wash because it's smaller and easier and quicker to set up. But this machine is wonderful as well. I love that it sort of automatically mixes the shampoo. I love that it washes when you push it forward and it dries when you pull it back. It's easy, it's quick. It does a really good job. I've had several carpet shampooing machines in my life, and this one is definitely by far the best. It does a really good job. The only gripe that I have about it is it's quite heavy, and it does tire you out, but I need a workout, so it's not such a bad thing. I will show you the water at the end of this. So I am going to do the whole room, but I'm not going to show you the whole room because this video is already really long. Oh, look at that filthy water. That's absolutely disgusting. I need to do this more often. Yeah, I'm not going to show you me doing the whole room because this is going to take too long. I'll do the main room today, and then tomorrow I will pull out the sofas again and I will clean behind those and all of that. So yeah, in the meantime, you can enjoy watching me wash the main area of carpet. Such a satisfying thing to do. One of my favourite jobs for sure. If you haven't got one of these, oh, get one, borrow one, whatever you need to do, just play with it. It's so much fun. Just a heads up, that mark that I'm going over now is not actually a mark, it's a shadow from the armchair. So don't be alarmed that the machine's not picking it up. It's because it's a shadow. It did an amazing job. The carpets look so different now. I kind of wish that I'd taken a picture before and after to show you guys, because you can't really, I mean, you can see a bit on the video the difference that it's making, but you can't. Oh, I wish I'd taken a picture. When I do the rest of the carpets and the rest of the house during the rest of the weeks of the spring clean I've got left, I will definitely take before and after pictures to show you, because it really is a dramatic difference. Is it a professional job? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You're always going to get a better job with professionals. But as a mum has a go job, it's pretty good for me. And that's it, guys, all done. Another room spring cleaned and ready for another season of abuse by me and my family. I really hope that you have liked this video, guys. I'm not sure which rooms I'm going to be doing next week. I'm undecided. Maybe the stairs and landing, and maybe the toilet and bathroom. I'm not sure, but certainly there will be more spring cleaning coming next week for you. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.